I don't think I became a fairy. I think I was a fairy, and I either got discovered or discovered it. And I'm standing down on the corner of West Street in Christopher, which is incredibly crowded on Halloween, when all of a sudden this creature runs up to me, puts a piece of paper in my hand, and runs away. And I opened the piece of paper, and what it was a description of this group called the Radical Faeries. And at the end of the description, it said, "Come join us." But there was no address and no telephone number and nothing indicating where you might find this group.
So off I went to go to this fairy gathering, and it was the Blue Heron gathering in the summer, and I made it. I got up there and asked around, made about 1,000 phone calls to just about every gay organization in the world until finally I got some information about the Radical Faeries and where they were. And that was my first gathering.
Okay, well, I have a lot of images about being a fairy, and one of them is about me at Beltane at Short Mountain. And like we're under this amazing maypole that's maybe 20 feet high with all these different color yarns, and all around us are just other people that are dressed just as strangely or more strangely, men and women. Some of them are in tribal paint, and some of them are wearing like blown up rubbers, like there's kind of a safe sex drag statement, and some people are in normal like overalls because there's really a lot of faggot farmers out there. And there's drumming going on, and people are dancing around the maypole, and there's people who are completely naked and covered with mud. And the magic that creates, the complete difference in realities, is every bit of what it means to go to a gathering for me.
Here I am with my leather drag, kind of part of my personality, and I'm looking around at the fairies who do what is euphemistically known as fairy drag, which something is like strips of cloth somehow creatively stuck together into an outfit. You know, some strange creation using rubber tubing and taffeta. Fairy drag. I felt like a competition thing happening, where my leather thing wasn't getting me enough. And so now I can like say, today I want to be the scary fairy, and I'm going to wear, you know, leather. And then tomorrow I want to be like the happy-go-lucky fairy, and I'm going to wear like, you know, fairy drag. And then the next day I'm going to be like Queen Diva Bitch Fairy, and I'm going to wear big drag. And it's all about, for me, it's about being able to transform myself through watching how other people react to me based on my clothing.
And also in the fairies, I think that if you want to get laid down, if you want to have sex, then you better either have like some boy or butch drag, or if you do like fairy drag, you better look really attractive in it. And people who do what might be called as girl drag or high drag, many times wouldn't get as much sex as other people. And I think in that way the fairies are very similar to regular gay culture.
being a fairy has been a solitary experience for me as well as a group experience. A lot of times I feel the need to get away from people and discover whatever mood I'm in, or if there's some spiritual urge I have, either to jack off in the under a tree or take a long walk in the woods. That's something very spiritual, very fairy, and it's been with me all my life.
I think that that's what makes a gathering, is putting a little initial work in. You know, you have to like stir the pot and put in the sauces and all that kind of thing. But then you let it cook, and you're not cooking it, it's cooking. And you're, in that case, then you have to realize that yes, you're not at the center, you are part of the periphery, and the void is at the center, and from the void you can pull out like the best frock you've ever worn, or you can pull out a very ecstatic experience.
It's really hard to describe the fairies. And I think if you ask any 7 people what the fairies are, you probably get 7 very different answers. Because what the fairies do is they allow people the freedom to seek out what it is that their hearts desire.
The drag, the ritual, the connection with the earth, all of that is what really does it for me.
This is the way things should be.